could, of course, be aftershocks.
So for the Red Cross, I mean, immediate action, of course, search and rescue and emergency first aid and healthcare, together with psychosocial support, especially for the families who are still basically trying to recover from the last earthquake that happened a week ago. In addition to that, there's also a large identified need for clean water, and as such, Indonesian Red Cross in the past 7 days mobilized about 6 water tanks to 2 of the most affected districts, which is Lombok North and Lombok East. However, they've now supplemented that with 11 additional water trucks to provide assistance to the communities affected. They're also providing non-food items, including hygiene kits and family kits for families who've lost their belongings.
Are people being told to sleep in the open, assuming they haven't got tents?
It's more of they themselves have made that decision. So there are only a few collective centers, so I may describe them as such. Almost all the families prefer to stay on their respective lands, also as a way of protecting their personal items, their goods, and their households.
This is a heavily populated place, isn't it? We talk about Lombok as a tourist island, but there are 4.5, nearly 5 million people live there.
Correct, but it is actually fairly widespread compared to some of the more dense cities that we usually see. So that is actually one of the challenges and one of the reasons why Indonesian Red Cross has been so focused on water trucking, because it's actually been quite challenging for the local authorities to actually have like a center.
Tiffany Lowe on Lombok for the International Red Cross. It's estimated around 500,000 abortions take place in Argentina every year. That's despite the practice being illegal, except in the case of rape or concerns about the mother's health. But on Wednesday, Argentina's Senate, uniquely in Latin America, will vote on whether or not to allow abortion under any circumstance in the first 14 weeks of pregnancy. Our South America correspondent Katie Watson now reports.
In the centre of Buenos Aires, the traffic stopped and the music started. Crowds descended onto the streets at the weekend, united in their opposition to abortion.
Tens of thousands of people have turned up to the rally. Everybody from babies to retired people, families. Many of them are carrying posters saying yes to life, no to abortion. Others are waving Argentinian flags, but pretty much everybody has a pale blue neckerchief with the words, "Both lives matter. Let's save both lives." And that is a symbol of the anti-abortion movement.
God featured heavily in this rally. This, a Catholic country and the birthplace of Pope Francis. With just a few days left before the big vote, people want to get their message heard.
We think both life matters, and the baby, nobody is taking care of the baby.
I think that this is not a problem of poor people, it's a problem of the middle class. That they decide not to have a baby, and okay, I will have an abortion, like I will go to the shopping.
Actress Muriel Santana disagrees. She's one of dozens of celebrities who've come out in recent months saying they too have had abortions, and she's been giving evidence to Congress ahead of the vote.
La clandestinidad no deja fuera ninguna clase social.
Clandestine abortions cut across all social classes. They mark you forever because you feel like you're doing something wrong, morally wrong. It makes the whole experience traumatic.
Campaigners have been trying to legalize abortion for more than a decade, but it's a movement that's fallen on deaf ears until now. An increasing number of women have donned their green bandanas, gone out onto the streets and started saying they deserve more rights.
People were saying this abortion was like this smoke bomb to distract people from other things going on. The girls answer, we are not the smoke, we are the fire.
The vote will be tight on Wednesday, but whatever happens, the abortion debate could have a domino effect in the region. Naila Luz Vacaretza is a sociologist.
I think this feminist and women's struggle, it's contagious. We are taking a good example from legalization of abortion in Uruguay, and now we are conscious that other countries are seeing what's happening on Wednesday here. Chile is a case in point, and also in Brazil, they are taking this debate and putting it on the front line.
Outside Congress, anti-abortion hip-hop artists perform around a small speaker, trying to win over the young passers-by. I've not even been born, and they want to silence me, they sing. The momentum towards legalizing abortion here may have started, but the detractors remain.
Listening to the BBC World Service. Coming up later in the programme, a major operation is underway to evacuate thousands of residents and tourists from a holiday island in Indonesia that was struck by an earthquake on Sunday. North Korea has called on the US to end its sanctions, saying Pyongyang had shown goodwill by ending nuclear weapons testing. Saudi Arabia says it's freezing all new trade and investment with Canada and is expelling the country's ambassador. It comes after Canada said it was gravely concerned about the arrest of several human rights activists. And renewed US sanctions on Iran are due to come into effect this week. The first tranche will affect the purchase of US dollars, trade in gold, and the car industry. We'll be looking at the impact this will have on Iran and where this leaves EU efforts to save the nuclear deal.
Thanks for listening. The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host, Oscar Bimpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host, Oscar Bimpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
I know. So improve wo but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK are buying book to me our grant and now scholarship and a financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be brave. UK degree and a masters fully sponsored. Say UK are buying me amount up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ɛbɛboa with your application na wo nso watumi anya saa sika yi bi na wode abɔ wo degree sɛ wokura British passport, indefinite anaa EU passport, 18 anaa 55 years wo nso wobɛtumi anya saa sika yi bi na wode abɔ wo degree. Even for first degree no, apart from say wobɛnya up to £21,000 no, aban bɛtua wo school fees ne adeɛ nyinaa ma wo. Ɛneɛ, frɛ 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika ne fetua wo fees. But degree.
All I can see, sometimes I believe in the sun.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. Voices of Esther brings you Bed of Roses this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Join our panel of experts to discuss issues within your relationships. Hosted by Doreen, you will be motivated and equipped to handle issues within your relationships. Remember, it is Saturday at 9:30 p.m. GMT. Don't miss it.
I'll lay you down, on a bed of roses. Mama, please stop crying.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK this and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host, Oscar Binpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Star Radio UK with your host, Oscar Bimpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to it wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody does it better. You are a star, my shining star.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Monday, so good to me. Nobody does it better. You are a star, my shining star. You are my star, my shining star. Come on, give me all your love. I just can't get enough. I will never last today. When you take your love away forever, I'm yours and ever. I want your love, 'cause you, girl, I love you so and ever. I want you to know that you are my star, my shining star.
Welcome.
Girl, that's how sweet you are. Ain't nobody in the whole world like you. Listen, everybody wants to get to know my girl. Something in her makes you want to stop and stir. Her love is magic, she's so romantic, and she loves no one but I. A flash of her smile sends me feeling like a child, so free and wild. She's like no other, my only lover. Girl, a shining star, that's what you are. My sweetest you know, I can't live without truly you are. Ooh, baby, my shining star.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
soon on DAB. This is Star Radio UK, the leading African Caribbean radio station.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is the 6th day of the month. That is the 6th day of August 2018. And of course, it's a Monday. What else? So let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. And once again, let me say massive welcome to the greatest show on the greatest platform in the whole wide world with the greatest man on earth, the one and only Archie. I say massive good morning and welcome to the show.
Listen, everybody wants to get to know my girl.
Archie on Star Radio. Nobody does it better.
She's so romantic and she loves no one but I.
Well, let me take this opportunity to say good morning to some wonderful people who have been supporting us from time past to now, you know.
A shining star.
A very special one goes to Mr. Kofi Obeng. Kofi was in the house on last Friday, you know, when I was busy doing some rounds. And I mean, I had to go for a wedding, so Kofi stood in the stead. Whilst my colleague and co-presenter Mr. Frank Davis was in the back Studio B, doing all his stuff there. Kofi, thank you very much. I dug my heart out for you. And to the family as well, Dorothy and the boys and girls. I say massive good morning to you guys.
I want your love.
But let me also take this opportunity to say massive good morning to my colleague and co-presenter Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Mr. Wisdom Amera, all the way in Zimbabwe. I say good morning to you. And I say good morning also to Mr. Adebayo Nelson Johnson, all the way in Sierra Leone, our correspondent there. To all our correspondents across the globe, we say massive good morning to you. Terry in Russia, I say massive morning to you, sir. But wherever you are, I want to say, don't touch the dial at all, you know. To Mr. Dantebury, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, good morning to you, sir. Good work done yesterday. And I'm saying good morning again to
something in her.
Yeah, and the girls. Yeah, Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri and the girls as well. Salute you all. To Mr. Kojo Dake. Kojo, good morning. I hope you are doing cool. Yeah, cool? Yes, I know you're on the holidays now. So, Kojo, good morning to you and the girls. Mr. Maxwell Nyamedi and the girls as well. I don't know why there are lots of and the girls. Good morning. Let's say good morning to Mrs. Salome Ado and Pastor Joseph Ado all in Milton Keynes. Yeah, I'll be seeing you sometime this week, and I'll say massive good morning to you. And regards to all Milton Keynes, the MKs. I say massive good morning to you all. To my apostle himself, brother HB and Auntie Mary, Mrs. Mary Bruce, my mom herself, I say massive good morning to you. And to all Bible lifers in Croydon and the worldwide, I say good morning to you. Okay, and a good morning to Mr. Kofi Ali, Kofi Ambassador at Large for ECOWAS, wherever you are, good morning to you. Hey, Dr. Morton, Mr. Eric Morton, aka Dr. Morton, wherever you are, good morning to you. Mr. Theophilus Seiko, aka TT, good morning. And I'm taking this opportunity to say a special good morning to my brother all the way in Scotland. Felix, how are you doing, sir? Morning. I know it's gonna nice weather there up there, you know. But down south here, my goodness. Today, the temperatures, I will be telling you when I bring you the weather forecast. But I promise you, it's going to be scorching hot here. Let me say morning to my producer herself, Baba Frances, wherever you are. Good morning, pretty. Very good close friend of mine, Mama Lane, wherever you are, Mrs. Elena Kuma. I say massive good morning to you. How are you? To all presenters on Starr Radio UK and management, I say good morning. A good work done over the weekend and throughout the week. Mr. Oscar Bimpong, Afia, Captain Tete, Reverend Michael Esiama, Doreen Carter, Lucy, Auntie Regina, Auntie Lottie, Auntie Mary.
Like a child, so free and wide. She's like no.
Mr. Oscar Bimpong. Linda. Oh, did I say it right? That's HRH. HRH, she'll be joining me during the course of the program this morning. HRH, Linda Boache. Good morning to you, lady. To Reverend Joe Anochi as well, I say massive good morning to you. To the Honorable himself, Mr. Devi Kluche and the Kluche family in the UK, I say massive good morning to you guys. I hope you are all doing very well and the kids are enjoying their holidays. I know David will make sure of that. Mr. Champion Point is it good morning. I hope you're all doing good. And then to my only Bretuba Mimawachu. And thanks for that message that came my way over the weekend. It was so wonderful. Massive good morning to you. You know, behind the scenes, when we bring you all these programs, we have people who are contributing their quota, pushing knobs, getting information in and doing all sorts just to make sure that the program that comes your way, actually, we hit the nail right on the head. So everyone who contributes to it, we are so grateful to you and we say good morning to you. Lady D, good morning. And to my oracle herself, Ross, wherever you are, she'll be coming your way tomorrow with another edition of Insight with Ross. Hey, Nee and the bossman themselves, I say good morning to you.
I want you to know that
Okay, so welcome to the show. It's now 10:40 from the House of London. This is Starr Radio UK. I'm the only one and only Archie here. And I'm saying good morning to Professor George Toffe. Last Friday, some people were addressing Professor Dr. George Toffe. So, okay, let me put it that way. I say massive good morning to you, to the Toffe family, and to the newlyweds, Tafik and Georgette.
feeling like a child, so free and wide. She's like no.
They carved the name for them. I forgot it. But wherever it is, I say good morning to you, and happy marriage to you. Wish you all the best from Starr Radio UK as well. Okie dokie. Now let's come to some serious business here. I don't mean to say that whatever I've said is not serious. They are serious, very important to me. Let me say good morning to Nana. Nana, I hope you are doing very well as well.
I just can't get
to Gina. Gina, Toyota.
never last today. When you take
But if you're watching me live on Facebook this morning or on our YouTube channel, whatever it is, make sure, please, let me plead with you that you share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like the pages as well. You can share the link with them if you're on other platforms. Hey, but whatever it is, make sure you contribute your quota. After all, you know what? That's what our money man tells us all the time. Giving is living. So give a bit of your time by sharing our transmission or our page with your friends and loved ones, and that will go a long way. I say massive good morning to you.
I want you to know.
But well, program outline, I'll be bringing you the quote for the day, the weather forecast, the travel update. Of course, I'll be bringing you some lovely music. I will go global trot and bring you all the news that is making the rounds in the world. From the Indonesia earthquake that has caused lives to be lost, for 95. North Korea telling the USA, guys, listen, we've done something. You know, you got to also do something. I mean, take some of the sanctions off us. What do you think about all that? And then Zimbabwe, yay. What about Venezuela as well? That's a wonderful one. What does it remind you of? It reminds me of Anwar Sadat in Egypt. Like no other, my only lover. When he was assassinated, whilst he was, they were having a parade celebration, and there was a flyby and a fly past, and they had their heads raised, and somebody shot him dead. So you see, I've been around for a long time, you know. Though I was young, but still I remember that, okay? Yes, so we'll be bringing all the news that is making the rounds there in the world. So what is going on in your area? You can tell us as well when the lines are open, and you can add your voice to the discussion, whatever it might be.
Come on, give it. Oh, you love me. I just can't get enough.
Okay, now let's move on to the quote for the day. But before then, exactly at 12:30, I'll be having Reverend Joe Anoche, who will be joining us on the Educational Hour. GEM Educational Hour is giving you the opportunity to go back to school. That is just not going back to school and then you not make anything out of it. But this is, if you've not had your first degree, you can go to school whilst you are being paid. You will come out flying, you know. If you've had your degree and you've not had your master's and you still want to pursue, there are courses that are being run by various universities, but GEM Education Consultancy will help you, get you enlisted or enrolled there, and you can take advantage of that option. You know, monies that are being paid up from 22,000 upwards. I mean, you'll be catered for whilst you go annually, you know. Whilst you go through your education. Once you come out, all that are prepared and stuff like that, they don't have menial jobs. I'm not saying that they are not good. I mean, anything to sustain you is very important. So they are good, but you can still do better. So that will be coming your way with Reverend Joe Anoche on the GEM Educational Hour.
She loves no one but I.
And then at 1:45, that is 12:45 exactly, I have no other one than HRH Linda Boachi in the house. A career advisor, she'll be here to tell you exactly what you have to do. But today we'll be having a look at branding. Last week we had a look at branding, the positive aspect of branding. But today we'll be having a look at when branding goes absolutely wrong. So make sure you continue to stay tuned and listen to us on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 10:47, that is 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Still here, Archie in the house. Okay, now let's go to the quote for the day. It says, there is no substitute for hard work. Not even praying for divine guidance and intervention. I check it again. There is no substitute for hard work. Not even praying for divine guidance and intervention. That is why, whilst the children of Israel were on the wilderness, God had the power to bring the manna and the quail into their tents. However, you know what it did? It fell in the fields. So people had to now wake up and go to the fields, walk to the fields, do something, and get what God has deposited there for them. Therefore, it is important that you rise up to work. Work hard, okay? And pray. Work and pray. This is not watch and pray. Work and pray. You take the story of in the Bible as well, where Nehemiah had the order from the king to come and build the walls of Jerusalem. He said once they were building the wall, there were people they were against one. Yet you know what he did? They had their bows, their arrows, and they were all armed, but they were still doing what? Building. They could have said, okay, let's go and pray. Let's go and pray. And we'll pray and the walls will come up. No. Some of the things that didn't happen that way. There are principles that needs to be adhered to.
I want you to know.
And therefore, there is no substitute for hard work. Not even praying, divine guidance, and intervention. So work hard and pray hard. And I tell you, your dreams will come through for you. By way of the quote for the day. Okay, we take a commercial break, and once we come back, I'll be bringing you the weather forecast and then the travel updates.
Listen, everybody wants to get to know my girl. Something in her makes you want to stop and stir. Her love is magic, she's so romantic, and she loves no one but I. A flash of a smile sends me feeling like a child, so free and wild. She's like no other, my only lover. Girl.
Okay, my producers are speaking in my ear. They said I should just go on with the weather forecast. After which I'll bring you the commercial break before we go to the travel update as well. Okay, on the weather front, today looks set to be a fine, dry, and a hot day with plenty of blue sky and sunshine. There'll be very little, if any, cloud around. Light winds. That is the weather forecast. Yay! This day is going to be hot this afternoon, I tell you. But tonight is going to remain dry with predominantly clear, starry skies and few, if any, clouds. Now winds will remain light, perhaps allowing the odd mist patch to develop. Quite a warm night. Oh yeah. So quilt away, throw your quilts off. You can chuck them in the bin, you know. There's no need for quilts, you know. But the top temperature is going to be what? 32 degrees here in Croydon area, in the southeast of England. Southeast and southwest, whatever they will tell me.
She's so romantic, and she loves no one but I.
When it comes to some weather details, pollen level is going to be low, UV level is going to be high, and pollution is going to be medium as well.
A shining star, that's what you are.
But sunset is going to be at 20:40, that is 20 minutes to 9, and sunrise for tomorrow morning is going to be at 05:31 hours. So that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you. Today, Monday, the 6th day of August 2018. Okay, so once again, I say massive welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Okay, now let's go on to take a commercial break. Once we come back, I'll bring you the travel update. Stay tuned and don't even think of touching the dial. Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Is the time. That is 10:52, of course. Starr in the UK is the station. The morning show is a program. RJ is the man. Okay. Let's say good morning to George Charisma wherever you are. And then to all our listeners from across the globe, from Kweku, Kwesi, and Kwame, my brothers. I hope you're all doing cool. And then to the Hammonds, the Betwells all around the globe. I say massive good morning to you. To Extra in Ghana, the Negative in France, Comfort Heavy in Minnesota, US of A. I say massive good morning to you all. Hey, baby brother Kwame, I hope you are doing very well in Cape Town. I know that place, he said, is a bit cooler there. Yeah, that's cool. I'm also cooler here in the studio. What about that? It's only that I don't want to venture going outside there, you know. It's hot. Hot. But okay, now let me bring you the travel updates wherever you are. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On the underground this morning, good services throughout Bakerloo, Central, Circle District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee Metropolitan, Northern Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City Lines are in good services, London Overground, TfL Rail, DLR, London Tramlake in good service. Go to my favorite means of transport. What I say is mostly the most reliable means of traveling. That's the river bus. RB1, RB1X, RB2, RB4, RB5, RB6, Woolwich are in good services. Now let's go to the National Rail. Let's see what is happening there. Unfortunately, that cannot be said about the National Rail. There are a few delays here and there, and I promise you I'm going to bring you all the details of that, you know. I'm going to bring you that, of course. Cross Country has got minor delays. East Midland trains, minor delays. First Hull trains, minor delays. Grand Central, minor delays. Great Northern, minor delays. Great Anglia, minor delays. Northern Rail Special Service, South Eastern's, minor delays. Southern, minor delays. And Thameslink, minor delays as well. Whoa. If you're traveling, if you're stuck on there anywhere, just continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK. But if you can make your way out of there, or to avoid that, please do so. And how do you do so? By keeping your eyes on the roads. Okay, now let's go to the roads proper. Let's see what's happening there. Travels, the traffic front. Now, A10 has got closures, A2 closures, A23 closures, A3 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Routes closures, North Circular A406 closures, South Circular A205 closures there as well. Bringing the time down to 10:55. I said good morning to you. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Keep your eyes on the roads.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. Now let me go bring you the carefully selected choice of song of mine for today that I'm going to bring your way. And it's from no other person than Nathaniel Bassey. And it says, hallelujah, yes. Whatever things that you're going through, I tell you that God is in control. God is in the heavens, and He does whatever pleases Him. Today, may He open the heavens and the windows of heavens wherever you might be. And I say massive good morning to you.
Welcome.
Hallelujah, 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 is the sound of victory. Hallelujah, house. He has made a way where there was no way. Hallelujah, is the sound of breakthrough. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house. Hallelujah,
This is Starr Radio UK.
is the sound of victory. Is the sound of victory. Is the sound of victory. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house. He has done for me what no man has done. Hallelujah, is the sound of freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house. Is the sound of victory. Is the sound of victory. Oh, shout hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house. Shout to the Lord all the earth. This house. Hallelujah, 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 oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, is the sound of victory. Is the sound of victory. Is the sound of victory. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house. He has done for me what no man has done. Hallelujah, is the sound of freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, oh, let the sound of rejoicing fill this house.
Okay, so hallelujah from Nathaniel Bassi to you wherever you are. And I pray, it's my prayer this morning that whatever things that you are going through, whatever challenges they might be, whatever things that you're going to be doing, may you see victory today. May you see your breakthrough coming your way like the floods. Like a flash flood, you know, from nowhere, pashu, may it happen to you this day. Okay, so good morning to each and every one of you and welcome to the program. This is Starr Radio UK and it is the Monday edition of the morning show. Welcome to the show.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Yes, let me say good morning to Pastor Samuel Lamte and all members of Revival City Church and all those who attended the Victory. I've forgotten the Victory Springs program Friday night. Those of you who listen to us on Starr Radio UK as well, we appreciate you and we say thank you very much for tuning in. But that program, as we said earlier on, was announced, will be coming your way every first Friday of the month. And of course, it will be streamed live on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right. Now, I'll take another music for you. Because I don't know why I feel jolly this morning. I feel good. I feel good. La, 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 la. But I can do it better by allowing them to do the singing for me whilst I do the dancing and enjoying it. I mean, behind the scenes, if you can see me, the move that I'm making here, my goodness. It's more than Captain Felix Tete on his show doing his moves. Okay? So you can do your moves as well. But this time around is from Koda and it says Made Away. And I dedicate that one to no other one than the Excellency herself. You know who is that? That is the lady who will be coming your way this evening exactly at 5 o'clock with On Point. And that is Regina Avan. Regina and Gina. Good morning. And let me say good morning to no other person than Queen Sailor Queen. I hope you are doing very well as well. And Alicia Queen as well. Massive good morning to you all.
Standing here, not knowing how we'll get through this test. But holding on to faith, you know that nothing can catch you by surprise. You've got this figured out. You're watching us now. And when it looks as if we can't win,
Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
And everything we need you supply. You've got this in control. And now we know that you made a way. When our backs were against the wall and looked as if it was over, you made a way. And we're standing here only because you made a way.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Don't know how, but you did it. Don't know how, but you did it. Said I don't know how, but you did it. Said I don't know how, but you did it. I was sinking deep in sin, but Jesus, but you did it. No money in my pocket, no food on my table. Don't know how, but you did it. I don't know. I call you my way maker, my strong tower. You made a way,
Online, on mobile, soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading African Caribbean.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Your favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station in the UK.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree. Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11 minutes past 11. Okay, now let's go to some of the news making the rounds here in the UK. In the UK front today, is a man in court over murder of midwife Michael Sterling, who is accused of murder, is the brother-in-law of the victim's former fiancé. That's an interesting twist. We'll be having a look at that story. The reckless driver hunted over a cyclist row, and then Magaluf, their parents, left unsupported. Fentanyl drug deaths rise by nearly a third. Those are some of the stories making the rounds. The magazine peak hits back over hypocrisy. Affordable homes on Greenbelt lie. Now BA boss demands action on Heathrow queues. And then the other story, universities chief wants to bring back grants. University chiefs want to bring back grants. Some stories making the rounds there. And the hundreds of air traffic controllers needed. And a SECO welcome evictions legal challenge. Labour vows to boost British energy firms. And the rural crime prompts medieval defenses. Rural crime prompts medieval defenses. We're having a look at those stories so that those of you living in such areas will know the way forward. And I know because you are a very close community, you'll be able to tell exactly what seems to be going on in that front. Now, when it comes to some of the news making the rounds this morning here in London, the first one, Michael Sterling is in court on midwife Samantha Eastwood murder charge. And it's quite an interesting twist because when I heard of the arrest, I thought, what exactly was happening? Now, a man has appeared in court charged with the murder of 28-year-old midwife Samantha Eastwood. Now, Michael Sterling of Grattan Road, Bracknell, was remanded in custody after appearing at North Staffordshire Justice Centre earlier. The body of Miss Eastwood was discovered in rural ground near Caverswall Staffordshire on Saturday, 8 days after she was reported missing. Now, Mr. Sterling, 32, is the brother-in-law of Miss Eastwood, ex-fiancé John Peake. Now, the charge states that Mr. Sterling allegedly murdered Miss Eastwood between July 26 and August 5 at Badley Green. Now, wearing a grey sweatshirt, he was flanked by 2 dock officers as he spoke only to confirm his name, address, and date of birth. Now, no members of Miss Eastwood's family were present at the short hearing. Now, Mr. Sterling will next appear via video link at Stafford Crown Court on August 8. 2 men aged 60 and 28 arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender have been released on conditional bail. Now, Miss Eastwood was last seen in uniform leaving work at Royal Stoke University Hospital in the morning of 27th of July. Staffordshire police said a post-mortem examination had taken place, but further tests were required. Searching involving dozens of officers and police sniffer dogs had centered on fields near Tick Hill Lane, close to Caverswall. Okay, it's a very sad one, but I know that we can trust the justice system and it will deliver. So we say, go on, give us the justice that we need. Now, another story talked about a reckless driver hunted after Clapham cyclist row. Whoa, if you are driving a black Audi. Now, a reckless driver is being hunted by police after he drove at speed as a cyclist during a row in London. Now, footage on social media shows how cyclist Dave Clayton was almost hit by the black Audi A3 on a road in Clapham. The Met Police has appealed to find the dangerous driver who sped away in reverse from an officer during the row at about 08 hours BST last Wednesday. Now, luckily, no one was seriously injured or even killed by this reckless driver, Detective Constable James Preston said. The row began on at a traffic light close to Clapham North Station when the driver stopped and started yelling. Road rage. Now, after driving off, he swerved into a bus lane where he nearly hit IT consultant Mr. Clayton, 50, before stopping at another set of lights and throwing debris out of his car window at him. When the light turned green, the driver turned his car towards the victim and drove at him at speed before changing direction, a police spokesperson has said. Now, seconds later, the Audi was driven into a side street where a witness told the Force he almost hit another cyclist. The driver then mounted the pavement where a group of cyclists had gathered and he drove at them, apparently telling them it's a stolen car. He lied. Oh, sorry, apologies. He fled the scene by reversing down Dorset Road at speed after a police officer in an unmarked car arrived. It is worrying having drivers on the road like that, Mr. Clayton of Wimbledon said. It's also just really bizarre. I don't know if he just having a bad morning or what. He seemed to be picking on everybody. I think the guy was having a bad morning. Let's give him a break. Now, we urge everyone who recognizes him to contact the police as soon as possible, he added. Now, yesterday after church, we were on our way home and then I was driving and then there was this guy who was driving a Mercedes. Just came on my side and winked at me. I was in the car with my wife and I was like, oh yeah. And my wife was saying, see his eyes are, his people are like dilated. Virtually, the guy is drunk and he's driving. So we got the traffic light and this guy sped off. I mean, the light was going amber, and the speed at which he drove past, virtually, he went through the red light, but just sped past me, and he was gone. I was like, wow. Sad drivers on the roads. Well, it takes the grace of God for you to go and come back safely, right? Okay. So this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to what? 11:18 from the heart of London. Bringing you all the news that is making the rounds in the world today. We're starting from home here in the UK. Now, exactly at 12:30, as I said earlier on, we'll be having no other person than Reverend Joe Anochi joining us on the educational hour, and he will be having a look at how you can get your foot on the educational ladder once again and climb up. If you have got your, you've not got your degree, your first degree, yes, you can just take advantage of this opportunity. If you got your stay, you are married to an European, all sorts. You will have the opportunity to continue or further your education. And if you got your degree already, you can get your master's, and I bet you that it comes with money as well. You'll be catered for. So instead of you doing these menial jobs, not getting much in, if you go on that region, you will be able to make so much afterwards. Even whilst you're being trained, you'll be making some money there as well. So which will be far better off than what you are getting at the moment, because it starts from 22,000 per annum. Okay. And of course, whatever you are doing, you can do a side work too, just few hours to complement or to supplement whatever you are earning or you'll be making from there. So what about that? Make sure you get in touch with Reverend Joe Anoche exactly at 12:30. Then at 12:45, we have HRH Linda Boachi joining us. And you know what she's going to be having a look at today? No other one than Brandon. I'm not talking about Brandon as a name. I'm talking about Brandon. Okay, she'll be telling you more about it. Last week, she did tell us about branding, how branding can help you personally and your organization as well. So we had a look at that. But today we'll be having a look at when branding goes absolutely wrong. Okay, so we'll be having a look at that. So don't go away. Make sure you continue to stay tuned and listen to us on this program. Now, another interesting story, fentanyl drug deaths rise by nearly a third. The number of people dying in England and Wales due to the synthetic opioids, fentanyl, rose by 29% in 2017. Office for National Statistics data shows. Now, forms of the drug used to treat cancer pain is often imported illegally from Chinese laboratories and sold to users via the dark web. Now, deaths from psychoactive substances like spice or methadone are halved. Drug policy campaigners, let me take that bit again. Now, drug policy campaigners called on the government to fund drug treatment and stop criminalizing users. The UK government has nowhere left to hide. They are responsible for vulnerable people dying in droves. Now, Martin Powell from Transform Drug Policy Foundation has said he accused politicians of blocking or refusing to fund measures proven to have to save lives in other countries. Last year, heroin and morphine related deaths decreased for the first time since 2012, while cocaine deaths rose. In total, 3,756 people died from legal and illegal drugs in England, Wales, and in 2017. England and Wales in 2017, and the ONS said the figure had remained stable, while only 12 more deaths than the year previous. I don't know what to say about that, but if you need help, get in touch with the necessary organization. Okay. Now, when it comes to crime. Now, rural crime rise prompts medieval defenses. Now, the cost of rural crime has risen to £44.5 million as organized criminal gangs target farm machinery. Now, farmers are resorting to medieval fortifications such as earthworks to protect their property, according to NFU Mutual, which produced the figures. Now, police said the global demand for agricultural equipment was attracting organized crime to the countryside. Now, thefts of quad bikes, agricultural vehicles, and 4x4s have driven the 13.4% increase in crime over the last year. The NFU Mutual, which provides insurance to farmers, said in its annual rural crime report that the cost to farmers is at highest point since 2013. Now, while rural crime has fallen in Scotland and the northwest of England, there have been sharp rises of more than 30% in the Midlands, Wales, and southeast of England. Now, Tim Price, NFU's Mutual Rural Affairs Specialist, said this year's spike in crime was driven by a new breed of determined thieves using technology and brute force to steal from farms and prompting farmers to bolster their defenses. He said, this year, we're seeing people bring in things like earth banks, the medieval fortification last used 1,000 years ago. Now farmers are combining this ancient deterrents with modern technology such as CCTV, flood lighting, and motion sensors. Well, kudos to them. They should go on and fortify and from this Iran greedy group of people. Okay, all right then. So this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is 11:24 from the hearts of London. We'll be going to some world news here as well, but you stay tuned and let me just bring you some commercial, and then after that we go on to some news making the rounds in the world. Stay tuned, don't go away. Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host Oscar Bimpong every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
I know. So improve but degree. Okay, what about but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and a financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be brave. UK degree and a masters fully sponsored. See, UK buying ebetimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So, how do you go about it? A simple cry. GEM Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so what me and your KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from so we up to £21,000, no. I buy make sure school fees near the end amount. Any for 079 04 79 3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nesika nefetria wo fees, but degree.
Sometimes I believe in the sun.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Star Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. Voices of Esther brings you Bed of Roses this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Join our panel of experts to discuss issues within your relationships. Hosted by Doreen, you will be motivated and equipped to handle issues within your relationships. Remember, it is Saturday at 9:30 p.m. GMT. Don't miss it.
Lay you down, on a bed of roses. Mama, please stop crying for me.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie, and Regina on the Family Enrichment Program on Star Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
It is. And some people.
Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Star Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Star Radio UK.
You are listening to Star Radio Morning Show.
The time now is 11:31 from the hearts of London. If you want to join us in our conversation this morning, we'll be going globally, and therefore from now till 12:30 you can do so. Maybe some areas or in wherever you are or wherever you find yourself, there are some issues going on you want to share with us, you feel free to do so. You can call us on 0208-133-2257, 0208-133-2257 or 58. In US of Canada is 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. Text or WhatsApp is 0753-966-1744, or you can tweet at us at Star Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com, a big one there as well. And I'll be bringing you some news that is making the rounds in Nigeria as well, so don't go away. And then in Ghana, we'll be having a look at some of the stories making the rounds. Of course, we're going global, so from Venezuela we go to every part of the world that is there are situations, ongoing situations there. Okay, but now let me just bring you some updates from other parts of the world. I just want you to just stay glued to your sets. Don't even think touching it at all. Don't think of touching it at all. Okay, now let's go to some world front. Now, thousands evacuated from Indonesia quake, and then Trump says Sun met Russia for information. Okay, we're looking at that. 7 U.S. children rescued from caravan, and Saudi Arabia expels Canadian ambassador. Why is Saudi expelling a Canadian ambassador? Okay, and then Australia anger at Hitler fan interview. That's some of the news making around. How a traffic accident stopped a city of 18 million, and that's one of the stories that we'll be having a look at the People's Revolution, a social revolution as Frank calls for, and you see how these people manage, just kids, young ones that have done that. So we'll be having a look at all that, but you stay tuned. The 5 dead in shopping center plane crash, an interesting one that's in Americas as well. We'll be having a look at that. But first and foremost, some 10,000 people have been evacuated on the Indonesian island of Lombok after a powerful 6.9 magnitude quake on Sunday left more than 90 people dead. Now, witnesses spoke of chaos and terror as buildings collapsed and power and communication lines were cut. Now, boats have been sent to evacuate more than 1,000 tourists from the nearby Gili Islands. Now, aid agencies said the priority was to provide shelter for residents too scared to return to their homes. The agency said the impact was far bigger than another quake that hit Lombok last week, killing 16 people. Now, it says Sutopo Purwo Nugroho, a spokesman of the Indonesian Disaster Management Agency, said the northern area of Lombok had suffered massive damage. 3 C-1 Charity Hercules aircraft and 2 helicopters have been deployed to deliver tents and medical aid, but the earthquake has brought down roads and bridges, making areas difficult to reach. Electricity supply in the west affected areas has been cut off, and telecommunication networks are not working. So you can see in hospitals where patients are being moved in the streets. I don't know where are they taking them. That is no. Now the death toll stands at 91. All Indonesians, but Mr. Sutopo said the number will definitely increase. At least another 200 people have been injured. He pointed to the situation of a collapsed mosque in the village of Ladin in North Lombok, where a lack of heavy lifting equipment had made it difficult to locate victims. One official said 80% of North Lombok had suffered damage. The Man City, sorry, because of the football, don't worry, don't mind me. The main city of Mataran was also badly affected, with medical staff struggling to cope with the injured and the damaged hospitals. Well, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In another story, Saudi Arabia has said it's freezing all new trade and investment with Canada over its interference in the Gulf Kingdom internal affairs. In a series of tweets, the Saudi Foreign Ministry said it was expelling the Canadian ambassador and recalling its own envoy in Canada. The move comes after Canada said it was gravely concerned about the arrest of several human rights activists. Now, among those arrested was Saudi American women's rights campaigner Suma Badawi. Now, Ms. Badawi has been calling for an end to Saudi Arabia's male guardianship system. Now, the Foreign Ministry said it will not accept any form of interfering in its internal affairs. It is referred to last week's statement by the Canadian Foreign Ministry, which urged Riyadh to immediately release civil society and women's rights activists. Now, the Saudi ministry described Canada's position as an attack on the kingdom, saying it will now freeze all new trade and investment transactions between the two countries, consider Canadian ambassador persona non grata, and order the envoy to leave within 24 hours. Recall the Saudi envoy in Canada reserved the right to take further action. Canada's government has so far made no public comments on Saudi Arabia's diplomatic measures. The arrests are at odds with the progressive image the government has projected this year under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He drew widespread praise last year when they announced that the decades-old ban on women driving will end on the 24th of June. And lo and behold, he did that, or he made that promise. But this is a case where the Saudis think that, well, you guys are trying to interfere in our internal affairs. We got no right to interfere, and that seems to be what is ruffling feathers there. So, what else should be done? Every country is criticized when they make any move. I mean, Ghana has been criticized before. We have Zimbabwe has been criticized before. We have virtually all the countries around that have been criticized. But is it that the Saudis cannot take criticism, or what? Okay. Well, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and this is the morning show. Now let's have a look at the Bangladeshi protest that has how a traffic accident stopped a city of 18 million. Now, for more than a week, Bangladesh has been gripped by mass protests triggered by the death of two children in a traffic accident. The demonstrators, overwhelmingly young people, are demanding that the government take action to improve road safety. The movement has developed into a major standoff, and there have been scenes of violence in the streets of the capital, Dhaka, home to 18 million people. Now, how did all this come about? On the 29th of July, two school children in Dhaka, a boy and a girl, were run over and killed by a speeding bus. The driver is thought to have lost control of the vehicle while racing another bus to pick up passengers. The accident might have passed as an everyday occurrence in a city with notoriously dangerous traffic and in a country where more than 4,000 pedestrians were killed in road accidents last year. But instead, it first triggered widespread anger on social media and then led to the wave of students' protests. Now, tens of thousands of school children took to the streets of Dhaka, blocking roads and intersections leading to deadlock in the city. The protesters stopped trucks, buses and cars, demanding to see the licenses of drivers and check if vehicles were in roadworthy conditions. All we want is corruption to be gone and driving licenses to stop being handed out like candy, one 17-year-old said to the BBC. Now, he said the protests, rare for Bangladesh, continued for days with thousands of people and students essentially bringing the capital to a standstill. Bus services in the city and on routes to elsewhere in the country were also cancelled. On Saturday, police reportedly used tear gas and rubber bullets, injuring scores of teenagers, though the authorities denied this. Now, there also have been clashes between protesters and pro-government groups, reportedly members of the Bangladeshi Shiahatra League, the BCL, a students' organization linked to the ruling Awami League Party. The BCL were also blamed for attacks on journalists, including the destruction of phones and cameras, which the Daily Star newspaper called a reprehensible violation of press freedom. Amid the violence, armed men attacked a convoy of cars carrying the U.S. ambassador on Saturday night. Okay, so it's just going over the top, and we hope that the authorities yield to whatever is going on and see to address this issue. But this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to what exactly 11:42 from the House of London. That is 18 minutes to the top of the hour. Now, let's go to the US. Now, Trump admits son met Russian for information on opponents. The US President Donald Trump has admitted his son met a Russian lawyer in June 2016 to get information on an opponent, but argues it was legal. It is his most direct statement so far on the reason for Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with Kremlin-linked lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya at Trump Tower. Now, Special Counsel Robert Mueller is investigating U.S. intelligence findings that Russians conspired to sway the election in Mr. Trump's favor. President Trump denies any collusion. He has called the ongoing investigation in the U.S. the greatest political witch hunt in history. Russia has repeatedly denied claims it interfered in the November 2016 presidential elections, where Mr. Trump defeated Democratic rival Hillary Clinton. Well, So now that he said that, what is going to be the next turn or twist to the investigation that is going on? Well. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station, London. Bringing the time now to 11:43. And finally, another story from the U.S. Police in the U.S. state of New Mexico have rescued 11 malnourished children who were being kept in a squalid condition in a remote desert compound. They said the children aged 1 to 15 had no shoes, were wearing rags, and looked like third world refugees. Now, 5 adults were found at the scene, including 2 heavily armed men. Now, police searched the site after receiving a message from a third party that read, "We are starving and need food and water." It is not clear how the group ended up at the compound in Amalia, near the state's border with Colorado. Now, police described the compound as a small underground caravan covered by plastic with no running water or electricity. Now, Taos County Sheriff Jerry Hograve said to the ABC News, the children were hungry, thirsty, and filthy. I've been a cop for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. Unbelievable, he said. They were skinny, their ribs showed, they were in very poor hygiene and very scared. No fresh water was found at the site, and the only food there were a few potatoes and a box of rice, police said. Now, 2 armed men, Suraj Wataj and Lucas Martin, were arrested at the scene and charged with several counts of child abuse. 3 women, believed to be the children's mothers, were also detained but later released. Now, you look at where they are living, and it's a proper squalid condition. But well, we know that authorities will address this issue. But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:45 from the hearts of London. At 12:30 exactly, as I said earlier on, I'll be bringing you the educational hour with Reverend Joe Anoche, and then exactly at 12:45 we'll be having HRH Linda Boachi joining us on the Career 101 program. She's a career advisor, and she'll be telling you about branding. But this time around, she's talking about how when branding goes absolutely wrong, what happens. Okay, so you stay tuned and don't even think of touching the dial. Let me bring you some of the news from the Latin American region, or the Caribbean, let me put it that way. From Brazil, former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has been nominated to run for office again in October's election, despite currently being in jail on a 12-year sentence for corruption. Now, some 2,000 members of his Workers' Party declared him their candidate by a show of hands in Sao Paulo. Now, Lula leads more opinion polls but may not be allowed to stand. He has denied taking bribes and says his conviction is part of a plot to prevent him returning to power. A message from the former leader was read to party members, many wearing Lula masks, who had gathered for a convention in Brazil's main city. So we'll see what happens over the period. Are they going to allow him to run? Are they going to allow him to run? Though he's been nominated, or he is in the lead there, we'll see what will actually happen up front. And an interesting twist to some events that happened in that area, that the Latin American side of the world, or on South America. Now, 6 people have been arrested in Venezuela for involvement in an apparent assassination attempt on President Nicolas Maduro, the Interior Minister says. Now, Nestor Rivero said they were part of a group that loaded 2 drones with explosives and set them off during a military parade in the capital, Caracas. Mr. Maduro has warned that perpetrators face maximum punishment. He has blamed Colombia for the incident, but provided no evidence. Colombia said the accusation was baseless. The government has also pointed the finger at the opposition, prompting fears of a new crackdown. Now, many opposition leaders have already left the country, citing government harassment, and there are reported to be more than 200 political prisoners in the country's jail. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Vladimir Pandrino Lopez declared his unconditional loyalty to the president on national TV. We are determined to defend our homeland, our constitution, our democracy, our institution. He said. Correspondents say Mr. Maduro has relied heavily on the armed forces to keep power in the midst of an economic crisis and political turmoil. The incident happened when Mr. Maduro was speaking at an event to mark the anniversary of the National Guard. A bang is heard, and the footage of his speech shows the president suddenly looking upwards and dozens of soldiers running away. 2 drones loaded with explosives went off near the president's stand. Communications Minister Jorge Rodriguez said 7 soldiers were injured, the Venezuelan authorities have said. Later, Mr. Maduro said the incident had strengthened his resolve. I am fine, I am alive, and after the attack, I am more determined than ever to follow the path of the revolution, he said. Justice maximum punishment, and there will be no forgiveness. Interior Minister Revel said 6 terrorists and hired killers had been arrested, several vehicles seized, and hotels raided. Okay, so that's some of the stories coming your way from the Latin American region. But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite. And then bringing the time down to 10 minutes to the hour. And this is the morning show. We'll be going to Africa in a moment, and some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Nigeria will soon become the world's 3rd biggest gas exporter. That's one of the stories making the round. And then some other stories. More troubles for Ekweremadu as EFCC may questions his wife. And then another one. That tragedy has changed my life. So Lee survivor says, and Fayose reacted to his alleged planned defection to APC, says he will never leave PDP. The 2019 APC hopeful for Southeast votes as Buhari approves establishment of robotics artificial intelligence agency in the zone. So there are some of the stories making the headlines in Nigeria, but I'll be bringing you details of some of them in a minute, so you stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Daughter of a late Biafran warlord, Chineme Ojukwu, graduates in Starr from the UK University. Okay, so stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Take a commercial break, lovely music, and I take you to Africa. Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Star Radio UK with your host, Oscar Bimpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
I know. So so improve wo but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secretary of fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and a masters fully sponsored. Tie UK buying ebetimi amount up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite. And now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we be up to £21,000, no. I buy bet your school fees near the end, you know amount. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees, but degree.
All I can see, sometimes
I believe in the sun.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. Voices of Esther brings you Bed of Roses this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Join our panel of experts to discuss issues within your relationships. Hosted by Doreen, you will be motivated and equipped to handle issues within your relationships. Remember, it is Saturday at 9:30 p.m. GMT. Don't miss it.
Lay you down, on a bed of roses.
Mama, please stop crying for me.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie, and Regina on the Family Enrichment Program on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
People's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That's a couple of minutes, to 12 is the time. Like I announced earlier on, exactly at 12:30, we'll be having Reverend Joe Anochi joining us on the educational hour, and then it will move on till 12:45 when I have Linda Boachi, HRH, also joining in with no other program than Area 101, and today we're having a look at the aspect of branding, and when branding goes Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. I'll be having a look at that. So when branding goes wrong, what actually can you do? And what do you do to avert branding going wrong? Those are some of the discussions that we'll be having. But if you have any questions on the front, feel free and send those questions in. So I will be able to put across to her once she joins us. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio, London. Now, on the African front, we have the Italian FM hails excellent cooperation of Egypt over probe into students' murder. That's some of the stories. And the South Sudan rivals signed final power sharing deal. Okay, so we hope that that power sharing deal that has been signed is one that will hold water and one that will stand the test of time. It's not going to be a 9-day wonder that tomorrow we just hear that, oh, the president is trying to chukoko the other guy, or the opposition who has been added to it is being chukokoed by he is trying to also chukoko the president of South Sudan. We'll have a look at all that. Now, Ethiopian activist Jawar Mohammed returns home from exile. The Zimbabwe post-election violence family seeks answers, and then South Sudan warring parties to sign final peace deal on Sunday, that I said earlier on. Doctors Association in Ghana have called off their strike, and 1,000 attempt to break world record. Some stories being held in the African front. Now, DRC Congo Bemba holds first presser in 10 years. That's a press conference called the presser in 10 years. And then some other story, we have Egyptian forces kill 52 militants in Restif, and then South Sudan Salva Kiir says new peace deal is one that they are looking forward to. But let's go to Zimbabwe and let me bring you some of the happenings in that front. Now, President Emerson Mnangagwa on Friday called for Zimbabweans to unite behind him after he was declared winner of the national elections, but opposition leader insisted he had won and said he would use all means necessary to challenge the result. You know, at times I ask myself, when you see that whatever the outcome of a particular decision that you're trying to make, it's obvious that this is what is going to happen. You are adding two hydrogen and one oxygen molecule together under a good condition, and what do you expect is going to happen? Obviously, what is going to happen is that there is going to be water formed. But when we're doing that and we expect something else to happen, then some of us have a bit of questions to answer. Now, attempting to sound a bit conciliatory on a conciliatory note, Mnangagwa vowed to be president for all Zimbabweans and declared his rival Nelson Chamisa would have a vital role to play in Zimbabwe's future. He also said the military use of deadly violence in which 6 people were killed following the vote will be investigated by an independent commission. Now, it goes on further to say to Nelson Chamisa, he said, I want to say you have a crucial role to play in Zimbabwe's present and its unfolding future. Let's us both call for peace and unity in our land, Mnangagwa said. Now, but Chamisa told reporters that the army crackdown on opposition supporters had been authorized by Mnangagwa's ruling ZANU-PF because it had lost the election, the first since the army removed 94-year-old Robert Mugabe from office in November. He said, we are going to explore all necessary means, legal and constitutional, to ensure that the will of the people is protested. That's what Chamisa said. Voting passed off relatively smoothly on the day, raising hopes of a break from a history of disputed and violent polls. But as we all know, didn't happen that way, and there is so much happening on that front. But do you think that Mnangagwa's actually, should I put it this way, stretching of an olive branch or presenting an olive branch to Chamisa should solve the problem? Is it going to be like Kenya, where we have the president, Kenyatta, now bringing in his opponent just to see to address issues and just make sure that things remain calm. Do you think that is exactly what is going to be happening? I want to have your take on these issues. But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:04. Like I said earlier on, I'll be taking you to Ghana in a moment. And interesting times ahead there. In Ghana this morning, some stories coming in. No opulence directive, not because of opposition. Adams has said the national organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Adams, has clarified that the directive of the individuals angling the flag bearer slot of the party to be modest in their campaign spending is not because the party is broke. Put it that way. Now stop exposing our ignorance on banking sector. And don't go jabs Gavi as well. And times are hard. Be modest in your campaigns. NDC flag bearer hopefuls have been won this time round from the General Secretary. The Bantama MPP women organizer confirmed as Echima, not DCE. And then Baumia best to lead MPP after Kufuado Tampuli has said. Now NDC opens nomination for black flag bearership slots. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. But some interesting stories that have also made the round this morning, which I'll be bringing your way. You just stay tuned. It says Ameridil Sak Boache Ejakon. That is what COPEC is saying, and I want to ask get your take on that issue. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana of Ghana, that is COPEC Ghana, has called for the dismissal of the Energy Minister Boache Ejakon over reports that President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo was misled into approving the new Ameri energy deal. Now, he said, we therefore call upon the President to urgently fire or sack the Energy Minister and its communicators and prosecute them. A press release signed by a research, pricing and monitoring officer at COPEC Ghana, Samson Dai, has said last on Sunday. Let me put it that way. In light of the Ameri controversy, COPEC has questioned the president's decision on some other matters and wondered whether he was misled to take certain actions in the past concerning matters in the energy sector. President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo recently approved the new deal pending parliamentary approval. A statement signed by Secretary to the President Nana Asante Bidietu, dated the 25th of July, stated that the President of the Republic of Ghana has granted executive approval for the Innovation and Amendment Agreement dated on the 20th of July. Now, between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Minister of Energy or his authorized representatives, Volta River Authority, Africa and Middle East Resources Investment Group, Ameri, Ameri Energy Power and Equipment Trading, LLC, Ameri, Power Projects Sanayi Insert, and Tikanet Limited Security, PPR, and the Mytilios International Trade Company, AG, Mytilios for operations and maintenance of the existing 250 megawatts Ameri thermal plant at Abuaze for a period of 15 years. Now, the New Patriotic Party administration recently began taking steps to amend portions of the controversial $510 million deal signed by the John Mahama administration. The current government believes that there was no value for money in the deal signed by the NDC administration, hence the renegotiation. The renegotiated deal, which has now been cancelled by the president, was expected to be approved by Parliament when the House resumes from recess. Now below is the full detail of the statement by COPEC, but that is what I've brought to you. So, do you think with that happening, do you think that if the president have been advised, any advice that the president have received pertaining, okay, bear with me, I can see some movement in our system. Parents taking, some teachers taking some of the days or work. All right. Now, with that statement, do you think that we should take anything that the president has said pertaining to our energy sector very serious, especially when we know that such big mistakes can be made, or whether it's error, whether it was deliberate or not, by the minister, the sector minister and his team? Do you think that the sector minister should be removed from his position? And any decision that the president has made on that front, should that be, taken on board, or, we just say, oh, forget it? Because after all, if the advice they gave on Ameri deal wasn't right, then why do we even bother ourselves pertaining to that? But pretty soon, I'll be bringing you somebody that you've seen for a long time, maybe a couple of days you've not seen, but he'll be coming on air in a minute. But you stay tuned and you don't touch the dial. This is Starr Radio UK. A quick commercial break and I'll be with you. Threat. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host, Oscar Bimpong, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Well, welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, and let me say good afternoon to Linda Boache as well. She'll be joining us exactly at 1:15. Yes, Linda, we'll be talking about when branding goes absolutely
bonkers.
Wrong. Last week we talked about branding, how you can use branding to enhance whatever thing that you are doing yourself personally, the organization that you're working for. But at times, branding goes virtually nose diving, and it will take maybe Baumia and his team to catch it with the police in Ghana. So we'll be having a look at that. So you stay tuned and don't touch that. But that and your on your screens at the moment, you can see, or those of you listening to us via our apps, you would have heard the voice of no other person than Mr. Frank Davis. And let me go to him now. Frank, good afternoon to you.
Actually, afternoon to our listeners, wherever they might be.
Yes, listeners, he says afternoon to you, wherever you might be. I hope you're all doing good. How was your weekend, though?
Well, thank God we're not misled by the weather. We knew it was going to be a bit hot.
Yeah, and it was.
It was. We were not misled in dress into
putting on some complete.
Putting on clothes and getting out there and then coming back to say sorry to my heat. I was misled. No. So it's been good. It's been good. Yeah,
good. Thank God for that. Yes, listeners, that is Mr. Frank Davis for you. Now let's go on to. I'll just touch on just one story from Okay, one from the Latin American area, one from Zimbabwe, and then we'll just come to Ghana quickly before we cross over. Now, first of all, let's go to Latin America.
Yeah.
Venezuela, they were having an event, a march or a celebration of the military, and then the president was giving a speech. And I was saying to listeners earlier on that I remember when I was little then, Anwar Sadat, when they were also having a celebration, and while there was a fly past and he lifted his head and the concentration was there, Pashu, somebody shot him, and that was how Anwar Sadat died. Okay, and then we had now we have a similar thing going on, the military parade, and then we have this time it wasn't a fly past. The man was giving a speech, and this flying object, unidentified flying
This
object,
was an identifying flying object.
Attack. Okay.
Attack.
Yeah.
From
I don't know from what angle. Yeah. But Frank, before you come on, I think we got Felix, so let's go to Felix.
Yeah.
Let's go to Felix first. Felix, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Just go ahead. I'm listening to your presentation. I'll join in as you go along.
Okay. Yes. So Frank, what do you see? I mean, is it a trend that now you see all these what do you call those things?
The what do you call it? The drones.
The drones.
Yeah.
I call them unidentified flying objects. You see, it's something that people who want to commit such atrocities are now going to think, this is another option that we could use.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's been identified as a possible option. I mean, prisons, we know drones are used to smuggle drugs. We know now that even the U.S. military now use drones to attack.
Yeah.
In fact, the human casualty in those circumstances is close to zero. I mean, it's zero anyway because those things do not fly. I mean, with human beings, we know in Rwanda, drones are being used to deliver blood. Yeah. And although we do not have enough hospitals, we do not have ambulances, Ghana, they've signed a multi-million-dollar agreement to use drones to deliver blood, when in fact, it's not the distribution of the blood that is concerned as far as I can tell, but the supply of the blood. Because even Kolebu itself, I mean, still cries for blood.
Yeah.
Actually, is a potential to, but when we come to Venezuela issue, you see, some of these things, the drones and others, can be used for good and they can be used for bad purposes. It's just like alcohol. Everything that we have on this earth. I mean, if you are hungry, you go to McDonald's. I mean, the nearest and the quickest way of, I mean, filling your tummy. But again, people can go and starve themselves and tomorrow. So, I mean, scissors, if you give it scissors, you can use it to shave you nicely, or to actually get rid of Felix dreads.
We don't want to touch that.
Are you getting me? So I mean, the tools and the weapons we have can be deployed, I mean, differently. But on this issue of Venezuela, it's a very serious issue because this is a president who has announced that, or has said that he was attacked, or he was a target of attack, and his judge did not end over there. He's going to accuse mission a country and the president of that. If it is proven, that is serious enough. That's an act of war. Because he's gone all the way to zero down on an individual, saying this was the person who planned it. And he said they've arrested a couple of people.
Yeah, about 6 people. Yeah.
Let's see what happens with that. But I mean, in my view, we still do not have enough information yet, because at the end of the day, the Colombian president has also not come to deny it as yet.
Yeah.
The guy was, Venezuela president was very categorical that he was the one who led it, and it was with assistance of people based in Florida and other things. And we know that Donald Trump's based, isn't it? And you know, they've been having this problem since Chavez left, trying to move that economy back to full capitalism. Okay, and this is one country that communism, they still want to push communism. What do you call it? We had a gentleman here on Wednesday who was from this movement of communism in this country, and Venezuela was one clear example that he was citing as something that Chavez time they practiced, and it was a very successful time. So I think let's see how it plays up. But
another thing that is something, you know, when some leaders come in and they want to, put the opposition down. I mean, eventually stop them. Then at times they create scenes
Yeah,
like that,
but
and then
actually,
you can use that
but
to
actually,
just
it will be very
hang the
serious.
dog.
It will be actually very serious to accuse another. He's not accusing the opposition that yes, he's the opposition are working with them,
Yeah.
but he's named a leader of a sovereign country.
Is it because maybe those people, I mean, the dissidents, I mean,
Actually,
or the opposition have fled to
whichever
those
way
countries?
you look at it, that is serious enough.
Okay.
That will breach all UN conventions.
Okay.
Of external aggression, trying to take out a country, another country's leader. Actually, that is a very serious allegation to make.
Okay.
And I'll be very skeptical if he has no evidence to be able to. Well, unless you want to play the British Russia way, where we sit here and say that we still do not have convincing evidence enough to say that, but they claim this way. But he has been very categorical that it is this man they've arrested some for. What we want to see more evidence from his claim, and then we also expect the other countries to come and say that we did not do it, provide proof. Just like the way Russia has asked the UK to provide enough evidence, enough convincing evidence.
Okay, we'll be coming to you. I'll come to you about Zimbabwe. I mean, the olive branch that have been stretched by Mnangagwa, and as to whether Kamisa should just listen to that and let the country be. But let me go to Felix, who is all the way from Scotland. Felix, good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Where do we start? Venezuela first.
Yes.
Whichever way you want to start.
wherever.
Okay, fair enough. Look, this Venezuela thing is a very complicated issue. It's a deeply complicated issue. It's a fight over the soul of the country. In fact, in many ways, it has very little to do with socialism, communism, or even capitalism, if you want to look at it from that perspective. It has, it has something to do with those things, but it does not have much to do with those things. You see, over the time, maybe you can go back into history, how Europeans and maybe even Africans or other people from other parts of the world ended up occupying most of Latin America and North America. Remember, these places were described as the New World by the explorers at the time. But there are people living there. The indigenous people, most of them have ended up in the jungle or the forest of the Amazon. We now call them Indians.
The Red Indians,
But these people, in fact, when the people from most of Europe and parts of Africa got in there, the history books tells us that a lot of them even escaped deep into the forest. And nowadays, every now and then, we come across some of them. But that's what happened. The people who took over these lands, this is where the problem has been. A few people took over huge tracts of land, and most of the people who also settled there, the Europeans and Latinos, and in some cases even Africans who settled there, a lot of them have been left with our land. And these are essentially agrarian societies, so land matters. Land matters, and this has been the struggle. It's not only in Venezuela, even what is happening in Brazil now is a slightly polished form of what is happening in Venezuela.
Okay.
When Chavez came into power, he said, look, we are sitting on what some experts say is the biggest deposit of oil in the world. In fact, there are some credible analysis that have been made that shows that Venezuela has more oil than Russia. It has more oil than Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Yet, this country is one of the poorest countries in the world. And it's been like that long before Chavez came into power. And Chavez said, look, we've had enough of this nonsense. It's about time that the people in Venezuela who sometimes are born and never see a dentist or never get a visit to a doctor, and they end up dying. Just like what you find in maybe places like Congo. This can't go on. And he said that, look, it's about time our people got some of the benefits of the oil resources we have. And that's the reason why he started rolling out all these huge social programs, free education, free medical care, free housing, that sort of stuff. Now, you can say that maybe it should have started now, maybe it should have costed this, carefully planned this sort of thing. But people most people have been desperate in that country for many years. In fact, in places like Caracas, if you've seen pictures of some of the hanging effectively buildings. Buildings
Yeah.
have been built on the sides of hills.
Yeah.
And he just want that. It's just a matter of having one torrential rain, and
Right,
all of
yeah.
these people will perish. But these people, in some cases, they've been driven off their land. You know, because you have to remember, some of these landowners in Latin America, they are also very ruthless. Yes. And this has been where the struggle is. And that's the reason why the affluent and the educated elite, who are quite vociferous and get a lot of, you know, sympathetic coverage in most of the Western media, even though they keep making noise, anytime there comes an election, they can win.
Does it?
Because the very poor people in Venezuela, they have seen through it. They've seen worse things, and they know that even with the hyperinflation and all of those things, if the power is ever given or reversed back to these ruthless landowners who have their, you know, cronies in politics and so on and so forth, things are not going to get any better for them. You know, people criticize the Venezuelan electoral system, but the people like Jimmy Carter, who has observed elections in Venezuela over a period of time, will tell you the Carter Center, they've come out several times and concluded that the Venezuelan electoral system is one of the best in the world.
Really?
Yeah, oh yes. In Venezuela, when you register, the electoral register is not only ascertained with the computerized system, but you also do manual counting.
Okay.
And so if you go and cast, if you go to the electoral, the polling station, you have party representatives over there. It's not like some minister sits down somewhere and decides when elections is going to be called and all that sort of stuff. You have party representatives over there. You have a computerized system which will give you your ballot paper, will be printed at the polling station. You vote electronically. It will give you a receipt. The receipt will show you the candidates that you chose from and all the rest of it, and you can tally it there, right there. So if what the electronic system prints out to you does not commensurate with the receipt that you had from the machine, you can question that there straight away. And you see, these people, they've been losing many elections against the Chavez administration. That's not to say that the Chavez administration or the Maduro administrations are good at managing the country. But like I said to you, it's something that is deep. It goes beyond economics. It goes beyond politics. It's a struggle. It's a fight for the soul of our nation. You know, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing happening to Lula da Silva in Brazil. He's been incarcerated. The people who have incarcerated him, they are the ones who actually have corruption charges against them as we speak. In fact, the president himself, he has corruption charges hanging over his head. It's just a matter of time. He will be prosecuted. It's just that he's got his cronies helping him to stay in power. These are the people who are facing serious corruption charges. Yes, the guy who probably will be able, in fact, he's the one who is leading the polls now, Lula da Silva. He's the one who is leading the polls in Brazil now. They've incarcerated him. But it's a fight for the souls of these two nations. Because Lula da Silva, when he came around, he said, look, we've had enough of this. Why are we importing so much food from the United States of America when we have one of the best soils in the world? After all, where is the Amazon based? Huge chunk of the Amazon is in Brazil. You know, and it supports the flora and fauna that you never find any part of the world. So why is a country like Brazil importing so much food? He reversed that situation, and Brazil became a massive exporter of food in less than 15 years. You know, he rolled out a lot of social intervention programs. And unfortunately, the powers that be globally, anything that goes to providing what they term as socialist ideology, materializing itself with respect to, you know, everyday butter and bread issues, they attack that. And that's where it is at the moment. I don't know how it's going to be resolved, but it's not going to be resolved easily. Because it's the fight, the soul of that nation.
Wow.
You know, I mean, in Africa, we never really had that sort of problem. Where we had those problems in South Africa and Zimbabwe, you've seen how nasty it's become. Where the indigenous people were cleared off the land was given to some people, and those people think that they should have that new status quo given to them over the last 50, 70 years. They want that to be retained. And you see what is happening in Zimbabwe. It's just a matter of time that will also start in South Africa, because the black people in South Africa can't keep on waiting for land reforms that never happen.
Okay. Now let's go to Zimbabwe. Let's go to Zimbabwe. Now, we have the president Mnangagwa. Now, I mean, pulling a nice olive branch to all the Zimbabwean citizens and saying to Nelson Chamisa, guy, just take things easy. You have a role to play. I've got a role to play as well. So, what do you think? Why is Chamisa being tough or hard and saying that, oh, he's going to be pursuing some court, whatever thing that he's going to do? What do you think about that?
Because he believes in what he believes in. That is the problem with the African opposition. The African opposition, they don't work with evidence and science when it comes to elections. They go into elections thinking that because they have massive crowds, because most people are complaining that things are difficult, times are hard, they go into opposition assuming that it's time for change, simply because somebody has been in power for a decade, 2 decades, a decade and a half, or 8 years even. They go into position into presidential elections, campaigning that they're going to, they promise, in some cases, they promise streets made of gold. Yeah. And taps, running with milk and honey. Things like that. They promise a whole lot of wild things. And goodness knows where they get the money from anyway to organize these elections. It becomes very difficult for them when they realize. And I think last week I was listening to you when you said that when you go into elections, there's not going to be a draw game. You either win or you lose. Yeah. And you have to learn to lose just like you have to learn to win. Yeah. And when they lose, they find it difficult to accept. That's all there is. They just have, my understanding is that they lost by 36,000 votes for the presidential election. And apparently there was some split in the MDC as well. So if they had organized themselves, and those parties that ended up being formed out of the NDC, they have brought their votes together, listening to some of the analysis on radio on Sunday morning here in Scotland, they would have easily won. Okay. So why didn't they concentrate on organizing themselves? Because you see, like Venezuela and maybe even in Brazil, whatever you think of ZANU-PF, there are people in Zimbabwe today who lived under colonial administration. And for some of them, it will be very difficult for them to turn their back on ZANU-PF. Now, those people may not be living in Harare. A lot of them, ZANU-PF for a long time never really had much votes in Harare. Even under Mugabe, with all the shenanigans about the electoral system, ZANU-PF couldn't win Harare. They've always had their votes from rural parts of Zimbabwe. And you got to ask yourself, the rural parts of Zimbabwe, do they have the same opinion about where the country is and where the country is going compared to those in the metropolitan areas? Because you have to remember that in most parts of rural Africa, we don't use much money. So issues about inflation and stuff like that,
what does the president care
if
about
you live in the deeply rural part of Africa, it doesn't really affect you that much. Because it's sad to say this, but in most parts of Africa, most parts of rural Africa, we haven't moved beyond butter trading that much. You have your big farm and everything that you have to consume is there. If you are not well, there are herbs that your great-grandparents have told you and you use them. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. But if these people, I'm not saying that there's no room for maybe rigging of the election. Maybe the election was heavily rigged. But you and I here, we don't have any hard evidence. There may be some rigging. Because let's be honest, the elections were not called over a 2-year period. This was more, in many respects, more or less a snap election.
I'm even thinking that if it was rigged in favor of Chamisa.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because actually, you see, unless there was a massive protest vote against the candidature of Mangwa, because if you look at the what they call it, the percentages has to do with the MPs. I mean, it's mind-boggling that we can be talking of only 36,000 difference, unless there was a protest vote, massive protest vote against, I mean, him by those who still believe that Grace Mugabe and other and other thing. Apart from that, I mean, it beats my imagination that you can have so much over 2/3, call it 2/3 of MPs going ZANU PF. Then you have a presidential election coming, that results coming. In fact, the results for the presidential election going way far better than far better than the way the parliamentarians do.
Okay.
Could it be that he enjoyed a bit of what do you call it, Mugabe support? You know, Mugabe called that.
Mugabe voted for him.
Mugabe called that they should vote for him. Could it be that those who were in ZANU PF, who still follow Mugabe, actually voted for him as an individual? Could it be the case? Because, I mean, all we know and what we do know is that ZANU PF is still not united. There's a faction that believe that he came in through the back door, and therefore they don't want him over there. In fact, some ministers vow to make him, I mean, not to succeed anyway. And some of them went ahead to form even a party. Last minute, we had Mugabe and some henchmen openly campaigning and endorsing Chamisa. Could they have helped in terms of skirt and blouse? I mean, that would have been serious skirt and blouse. I mean, the other thing that I've not actually, getting hold of is to look at the total number of votes when it comes to the parliamentary and the total number of votes when it comes to, could there be an appetite that people vote for the parliamentary and then decide to abstain from the presidential? Those are some of the things we will look at. But if not, it is going to be very difficult to explain how we have a 2/3 going for ZANU-PF at the parliamentary level, then we have a 36,000 or 40,000 when it comes to the president. It's something that needs to be interrogated.
Okay. Gentlemen, just hold on for a minute. Listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is 12:36. So in the next 9 minutes, I'll be having Linda Buachi, who is waiting in the lines just to come on.
Lady in waiting.
Yes, lady in waiting. HRH. Yes, HRH. She'll be joining me. We'll be having a look at when branding goes absolutely wrong. Yes. So stay tuned. Don't go away. But on air now, I have with me Mr. Frank Davis, my colleague and co-presenter, and my brother all the way from Scotland, Felix, who is also joined us. Okay. Now we're going to Ghana straight because we just got that call it 8 minutes to run up the first part of the program. Now, Ameridale. We had a president doing a U-turn. A president doing a U-turn because information coming through says that he said, wow, I've been misinformed. Now, so I was asking the question this morning that, do you think that with that stance, first of all, should the energy minister go, and any policy or any decision that the president has made pertaining to the energy sector, should all those things be revoked? Because even with this, they got it wrong. What do you think, Felix?
Look, first thing first. Have you had any official correspondence that says that the president was misled?
No.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
So where is this information coming from? It's coming from a newspaper that apparently is owned or run by one of his close family relations, who also seems to have an overwhelming access to the presidency.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the 998 employees at the Jubilee House or Jubilee Flagstaff House or Flagstaff House, whatever the name is, plus the president and his vice, making 1,000 people at the presidency. You can't even get one of them to come out and state whether the president was misled. Because to the best of our knowledge, Gabriel Otreda, who owns that newspaper, who made that disclosure that the president was misled is not an official of the state.
Yeah, it's not.
So why is it that even up till now nobody has come out from the presidency, from the ministries of finance, Ministry of Energy, the Attorney General Department, to clarify this issue, what their positions are on this? Because this is a contract. Whether you think it's an abrogation of one contract and the signing of a new contract, it has to have an input from the Attorney General's Department, because the Attorney General's Department is supposed to be the official legal advisory body to the executive or the state called Ghana, or whoever is in charge running the state called Ghana. So why is it that all of these agencies of state, where we are paying people and we have substantive ministers, we are told capable men and women, they are more capable than any other group of people who have ever run the country, so they say, why is it that these people cannot come out and state what the position is? What is the situation? The president himself has remained silent, mute on this. His vice president has remained mute. He's got 110 ministers. All of them have remained largely mute on this. So what is happening? Now let's even assume that whatever has been said is true. That the silence from the presidency suggests that maybe there's some truth in it. But if that is the case, that is even more serious. Because you then have to raise the question, how much does the president know about anything that is happening in the country?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's been misled on one contract like this, what else has he been misled on?
Yeah.
Because you see, I remember a few months ago when I called your show and I questioned that how can somebody that we are told, and I don't have any reason to question his integrity or his qualifications or his experiences in life, but somebody we are told, a human rights lawyer, has spent all his life trying to defend the cause of minorities.
Yeah.
How come he ended up signing or even approving of a military agreement that would mean that his own daughter or granddaughter is sexually, excuse my language here, abused by one of these vagabonds in the U.S. Army? Or, if I have to be blunt, if even his own daughter or granddaughter or a relative of his own is raped by one of these vagabonds in the U.S. Army, he will not, or the state of Ghana will not be able to prosecute that military officer or the contractors that they will be bringing to town whenever they decide to bring them to town. If any of these people should end up abusing one of his own family members, he will not be able to prosecute those people on our own soil. Yet he decided to tell us that agreement was good and he was going ahead with it. How much information did he have? Did anybody brief him on the details? Does the president even read anything at all that is brought before him? Or he doesn't do any reading? Is it too much for him? I mean, if it's too much for him, it's not too late. Hello?
Yeah, I can get you. I get you, Felix. Oh, okay. Felix's line is dropped. I don't know what is happening. But Frank, let me come to you straight. We're trying to see whether Felix can come back. I don't know what is happening to his line. But Frank, what do you think? First of all, should the minister go?
I think Felix has taken the wind out of my sail. I think it's not a question about the minister. Because
okay, I don't know what is happening with Felix's line. Okay, Frank, go on.
It's not a question of the minister going. It's a question about who appointed the minister. That's the question.
Who appointed the minister? The
president appointed the minister. Actually, like Felix asked, what again has the president been misled on? First, was it misled to think that appointing 110 ministers, a big government, will make big delivery? Was he misled in making his promises that to date we can't see them being fulfilled? Was he misled on the free exchange policy by Gabriel Chirodako? Was he misled that this double tracking system is going to work? So the question is, if the president can sign a document and come back to tell us that he was misled, the question we should be asking, actually this is serious. The future of Ghana is at stake, because if the president not that he was misled in commenting on it. The president says he was misled into signing it. Actually, there's into signing it, into giving an executive the highest approval, the highest seal of approval that you can get under our constitution, right? Misled into signing it. It means that the president can mislead or can be misled to sign your death warrant.
Of course.
It means that whatever is going on, probably the president is being misled to sign our economic death warrant. There was a time I told you that last MPP administration, I think we got 1 minute, so let me wrap up
quickly. And then Felix has come on, then we can hear Felix as well.
Honorable Osafo Mafo signed a document that was written in German, in the German language. Osafo Mafo cannot read, cannot speak. I mean,
France, you might not know.
No, he cannot.
In his bedroom, he might be studying.
No, he cannot. But he signed an agreement on behalf of the state. Okay? Whether he was misled in signing it, we don't know. The question we should be asking today, if the president is saying that, look, he has been misled in signing it, for me, he should resign.
He should resign.
Yeah, because we expected him by now to have fired. Actually, we've complained about a lot of corrupt activities from the cash for assets. We've spoken about the gas cylinder. We've spoken about a lot of them seems to even involve the energy minister, but he's still at post. So who is misleading the president who claims a dog cannot be hanged? Or is he misleading now to think that he is not the one responsible? I think the president is misleading us.
You know, this particular topic, there's got it has lots of facets. It's got lots of facets to it. It's got lots of facets.
I think we have our queen.
We have another person joining in. I don't know because our time is over. But I will just allow them to talk about it because when we come to the MPP, you know, we have groupings in there.
Every political party has groupings.
Yeah, so maybe the energy minister is from a different group. If you touch him, that means that you're touching that side. So all those things are there to play. But let me go to Felix. Felix, just 30 seconds, and I'll go to Linda Boachi because Linda has to come on now. It's time for her to come on with the Career 101.
No problem.
Yes.
Look, it's just to say that, look, we all have to learn from this. Perhaps. You know, once you find somebody who is too desperate to get into a position, then they just have to hold back and think twice.
Okay.
Because sometimes a desperate man or a desperate woman can do all sorts of things.
Okay.
And it seems to me that the president, you know, he wanted to be the president. I don't know whether it's at all cost or whatever, but he desperately wanted to be a president.
Okay.
And many people helping to get into that thing. Because even to this day, you've got to ask yourself, why is it that no sanction has been taken against the energy minister?
Yeah.
That's a very simple question. I mean, this is not. Is it the approval of this minister's nomination itself was problematic.
Yeah.
Remember, there were sitting members of parliament who made allegations against the minister. This particular minister of state.
Yeah.
And that's not the only thing. Remember the issue of cost.
Yeah.
You know, millions and millions of people that was sold to a company that legally did not exist at the time.
Yeah.
It happened under his watch.
Yeah.
The documents are presented to Parliament that has no signature on them. And frankly, even if you don't understand finance, it just doesn't make sense. You pay for something. It doesn't matter how badly the initial contract was negotiated. But you pay for it, you only left it 2.5 years, and the whole asset becomes yours. And some way, somehow, you can sign another agreement. That would mean that for another 15 years, this asset is not going to be yours anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Your great grandmother
All
who didn't attend business school, it wouldn't make sense to her.
Felix.
That's raised a question.
Felix.
Why the minister is still in the office?
Felix, let me say thank you very much. I mean, we'll touch on it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will have, God willing, we'll have a good look at that story. Right. But I've got Titi who has also joined in. Titi, just 30 seconds because I need to cross over to Linda Boache for the second sector of the program. So Titi, Hello, Titi.
30 seconds. 30 seconds will not be enough, so I will join
You join me tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you for understanding. Okay. Listeners, this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:48, and I have in the house my one and only, the one and only HRH Linda Boache. Linda, good afternoon. Hello, Linda. Hello, Linda.
Waiting.
Hello, Linda.
Wow.
Okay, listeners. Once we wait for Linda. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, yes. Hello, Linda. Linda, I think your check your sound. Yeah. She's going to join us. She's going to join us. Yeah, she's going to join us via Skype, so we can see her beautiful face. So let's wait patiently for her to come on. But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 12:49. We're going to be having a look at when branding goes absolutely wrong. When branding goes absolutely wrong. We'll be having a look at that. Okay, I don't know. She was trying to come on video, but let me see whether I can get through to her. Hello, Linda. Hello, Linda. Wow. Okay, Linda, you hold on. We're working on it. So you just hold on for us. But last week we did talk about branding, and branding can go absolutely good, and you will enjoy it. However, there is the tendency that branding can go absolutely wrong, and what you thought is something that everybody will celebrate, you will end up bringing your demise, and we don't want that to happen to you. If you are an entrepreneur, a worker, or whatever you are, it will be difficult. But let's see whether we've got Linda back online. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Archie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Where are you? Are you in London or you are in space?
I'm in Brighton at the moment.
Oh, okay. No wonder. I think the wind at the beach is blowing the waves. It's just blowing the sound. But hey, listeners, that is our HRH for you. So let's continue to listen to her.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm not quite sure what's going on with it.
Yes, we can hear you. There's a bit of interruptions there, but we'll just take it like that. Let's just go on. Now, branding, and branding again.
Yes, so we're talking about when branding goes wrong on Star Radio UK, and this is following up from last week's show about personal branding and what it can do for your career. Because when we talk about branding, a lot of people think it's just the companies that do it and famous people that do it, and they don't really take into consideration that they themselves are a brand.
Yeah.
And it's really important to build that brand and then protect that brand.
Okay.
So I love that we're talking about when branding goes wrong.
Yes.
Any of our listeners of any brands that we know that have really screwed things up in the past?
I think I'll leave that one to you.
Well, did you know Coca-Cola, when they started with Coke Zero, they first started as Coca-Cola Light.
Yeah, I remember that.
What they found out is men don't like the light version of anything. It's
You said men don't like the light version of anything. Oh, okay. I hear you. I have not said anything of the sort.
This is not my opinion.
Yo, I hear you.
This is what they claim went wrong with their brand. And that then affected the sales of the Coca-Cola Light.
Okay.
So they had to rebrand as Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Which was then appealing to both sexes. to then get everyone else on board. So it was half the sugar, but with the right brand and zero instead of light.
Yeah.
They were able to reattract.
Okay. Okay.
Another example is Royal Mail. Royal Mail. There's such a huge uproar about just the name and the brand.
Okay. Okay.
How to phase it out within 2 years, get back to Royal Mail, which is the brand that people know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Identity. That people know about you. Are you getting this feedback as well?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it goes a bit faint and then it comes back. So it's just undulating, but we're doing our best. So yeah, you go on.
I think I can hear someone else in the background. We'll carry on anyway, and if you've got any questions, do get in touch.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about branding and how it relates to the layperson, you and I, on the street, everyday people. Yes, we know that the companies can get it wrong.
Yeah.
But let's think about some of these big personalities that we know, all these scandals that are coming out now.
Yeah.
People that we know, we've known growing up, we've liked them, we've trusted them. Earlier, you were talking about presidents.
Yeah.
And sort of the impacts they've had scale and on the global scale, and then they do one little thing that's not congruent with the brand, what we know about them, and suddenly they lose the whole credibility that they've built over years.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the Monica Lewinsky scandal, I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, Bill Clinton.
Huge shock to everybody. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? And then voted in again because we've lost the trust. So brands really go wrong. Tiger Woods, for example.
Yeah.
We had more recently Tony Robbins with the Me Too scandal.
Yeah.
Trump, whether regardless of your political. Till we went into politics, that wasn't right. Wasn't consistent with the business, business like that. So you as a person, how does your brand go wrong? So yesterday last week we were talking about CV. To mess it up, really. Person.
Yeah.
A hard time at work, or something like that. So you start things, get told at any time, that time, it's becoming a habit. You use that brand of they're trustworthy and they're on time.
Yeah.
They meet deadlines. And that's really hard to rebuild. I was talking earlier on Facebook about someone that I know actually who worked as an analyst in one of the UK international banks.
Okay.
And she worked there for ages, developed on hard times and decided she needs to wire transfer some. She has to do that. She needs to work and security clearance match along. She completely lost it. She lost the job, had to repay it back, and she couldn't run it. I mean, now it's brand, the whole 10 years of working in that industry is lost.
Yeah.
Time to rebuild that again. So sometimes I think that you can do that consistent with your personal brand.
Mm-hmm. You can see her face now. Uh-huh.
Another example of businesses as well that get branding wrong. A lot of entrepreneurs, when they start, they want to offer almost everything.
Mm.
They want to, I do this, but I also do that, and I do this, and I do that. And I call this the nudist principle. Lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
So, like, come up to you and say, so cool, I really, I support you. A week later, they come and say, I think I want to add Buddhism to it as well. And there is such a thing as over the top.
Yeah.
You do one or the other, but you can't be both. And you just confuse everyone and just be a bit cray-cray.
Interesting. Mm.
That's the newest Buddhist principle, really. Don't confuse people, stick to one, what I call zone of genius. Well, towards my branding, that zone of genius of what I'm really good at, and making that core brand and then known for it. And it takes time to build.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people want to build a brand as quickly as possible. See a lot of millennials. Well, actually, don't even attack the millennials. You see a lot of people in general.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing something for years, and then all of a sudden they found themselves as an expert. So you see a 17-year-old going, oh, I'm an expert. And it's not congruent. Brand takes time to build, but also you really, really need to understand what it is you're offering and make it clear to everyone what it is you're offering, so that when they say your name, they say Linda, she's doing careers, that your name's congruent and almost synonymous with what your core business is. Skill and whether for employees or business owners, just make sure that you're clear enough and crystal clear that your brand can be easier than describable. That's when your brand can go wrong, but that's when you can get the brand right as well. From last week
Okay, with this, someone is asking the question that just in case, I mean, the worst has happened. There've been a bad branding. Now, how do individuals or organizations get themselves out of that? Because, well, to err is human, and at times we get things wrong. As we were talking about what is happening in Ghana, we think that maybe the president was misinformed and blah blah blah, and based on that, and so that reputation that they've created around him had just come tumbling down. Now, when things like that happen, how do you get back on track?
That's a great question. The question is how do you get back on track once you ruined your brand, or your brand has been ruined, compromised?
Yeah.
People are very forgiving as long as they know, like, and trust you. Now, sometimes people do silly things, or public figures, and then they come out with a sincere apology, not these scripted apologies that they do to save face, but a sincere apology and a way to sort of fix that, repair that, repent, so to say. When that is the case, a lot people are forgiven because they understand to err as human, will forgive you. If you went to an employer and say, in an interview, they said, why did you quit the job, or what happened with the last employment? Say, to be honest, I got fired, I got the wrong job, and people will forgive once they know that you're being sincere and you're being honest. And then you can start to build that again with acts that are consistent and the changed person that you want to be. So, was it Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
He went into
Rehab, yeah.
after breaking up with Angelina. And just that whole article, it became actually positive publicity for him. It's an article that said how to do rehab properly or how to turn your life around. I don't know if that, but so I don't know. This is turning around. It's happened that the kids and I know that if I screw up, I think about the guy like being genuine, like maybe White House talking about rehab.
Yeah.
So light and youth, she was honest about she was dealing with. I think authenticity is very underrated, but it's one of the powerful tools that you can have. I prefer to respect.
Yes, listeners, this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time is now 4 minutes past the top of the hour. That's 4 minutes past 1. I know we've gone past our closing time, but we still have with us HRH Linda Boache, a career expert on Career 101. And today we're having a look at bad branding. When branding goes wrong, what do you do? What are the causes? And what are the way you can see to address it? And maybe come back to the top again, and that's what we're having a look at. Unfortunately, I apologize to listeners for the way the transmission seems to be going. She's at the seafront, yeah. So you know the waves is affecting my branding this afternoon. Linda, yes, but listeners,
Time I will go into a hole.
yeah. But I promise you. I mean, you know, when it comes to Linda, whatever she touches turns into gold. So for sure, I promise you that next week we're going to be having greater discussion than even what we are having. But still, okay, Linda. Before we go, I know listeners are having a bit difficulty in listening, hearing us. Before we go, if somebody wants to get in touch with us and get in touch with you and with their questions and how to rebrand themselves or even brand themselves, as we said last week, can you put some details there and some of the some pointers so that people will know exactly what to do, not to destroy their brand, please?
Sure. So apologies again, I'm asking. You'll find this segment live on my Facebook, which is Linda Boache on Facebook. Boache is spelled Boakye. So this is being broadcast live on my Facebook page. So if you want to go back and listen to it, it'll probably be a better connection. You can also find me again on my Facebook page, is Linda Boache. On Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, I'm on as Linda Boache or at my cheerleader. Last week we were talking about being a cheerleader of dreams.
Yeah.
To that with the brand, so you'll find me at my cheerleader. Or careerandmindset.com is my website as well. careerandmindset.com. So again, this is a great example. Still tying in the brand together so that it's congruent and you can understand exactly when you say my cheerleader, you know it's Linda to do with careers. When you say career and mindset, you know it has to do with Linda. If you want to message me as well, our website www.careermindset.com at careermindset.com. With an email, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible.
Okay. Linda, let me say thank you very much for another brilliant time with you.
My pleasure, Archie, and apologies about this. I've been waiting for an hour to get on here, and I can't believe that the transmission's been that bad.
Yeah. But listeners, if you have any questions, like she said, just direct it to her. You can still send it to us on Star Radio UK, and we can forward it to her. And that is info@starradiouk.com, info@starradiouk.com. Or you can use our text or WhatsApp line. That is 075-396-61744. You just put Career 101 Linda Boache, and then we'll make sure that she gets that information and she will address it. God willing, next week when we come on, I will give her about 5 minutes to just reiterate what we've said about when branding goes wrong, so that for sure you not get your branding goals to go wrong. Wherever you are, we'll pray that you go higher, not coming down. Okay. Yes. Okay, Linda, so next week don't be at the beach front. You better come home. Then we can talk properly. Okay then. So you have a lovely day then. Right then. Okay. Bye. Well, listeners, so that was Linda Boache for you, bringing you Career 101 or Career 1-on-1. And it's time for us to bring our program to a close today. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe Frank wants to say goodbye to you before. Okay, he says that he can't say goodbye. He's already said his goodbyes. But tomorrow, for sure, we're having a look at the Ameri deal in Ghana. The fact that the energy minister, if by tomorrow he's still in position, why is he still there? If we think that, look, he's misinforming our president and making our president sign deals that is going to cost the nation great chunk of our wealth, then what is the way forward? But I will not be able to do that by myself. We will be doing it together. Tomorrow, God will. We're having Mr. Theophilus Seko joining us. We have Felix. We have every one of you listening to me today also joining in for that program. On that note, let me say, God richly bless you. Thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us today. And it's been me, the one and only Archie. But this evening, exactly at 5 o'clock, or coming late afternoon, this 5 o'clock, we'll have no other person than Regina Aban coming your way with the On Point program. After which, at 7 o'clock exactly, we have Lady D coming your way with a straight talk on Star Radio UK. So those programs will be coming your way as well. So enjoy your day. Have a wonderful, scorching day. But tomorrow, join me, same time, from 10 o'clock when I bring you another edition of the morning show. It's been a pleasure coming your way, as I said earlier on. Bye-bye for now. Let's take this one from Shatawale that says, freedom. Whatever it is, I pray that you enjoy some freedom from all your challenges. Bye-bye for now.
Shut up, 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 shut up. Freedom. 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 Shut up, 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 shut up. My name is Shatta One. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Shut up. Freedom. 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 Shut up. 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 Freedom. 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 Shut up. 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 My name is Shatta One. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom.
Online, on mobile, and soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading Afro-Caribbean radio station in London. This is Starr Radio UK.
Freedom. shut up, 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 shut up. Freedom. 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 Shut up, shut up.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
My name is Shut Up One.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen,